What's going on, guys? Welcome back to a brand new video, and we're here with a little bit more UFC 4 news and some great news in my opinion. DC, Daniel Cormier, the former light heavyweight and heavyweight champion of the world, is the new ratings adjuster. As we know, UFC 4 have said they will be adjusting ratings for all fighters, well, fighters that fought on events. Shortly after the event, they'll be adjusting them depending on win, losing, performance in general, just how the fighters do. They'll be improving the stats. So throughout the years, however many years UFC 4 is out, we have constantly updated fighters and constantly real fighters. So we don't have low rated fighters that are currently doing well in real life. So it's going to be good.
But what you don't know, the big secret, is that I have been given the privilege of being the ratings adjuster for the game this year. We are bringing the next level of authenticity and sports integration so that UFC 4 can resemble exactly what's going on in the real life octagon.
So some people may say Joe Rogan was better. I literally think this is the best we could have got with DC. He'll be watching all the events live as a commentator on most events. He is extremely unbiased in my opinion. Even when he is watching someone like Khabib, who he trains with, I still think he's unbiased. I think he's an extremely smart analyst. He has great breakdowns, even that new viewers to the sport can understand. I mean, I love Bisping, and Bisping's a great commentator and a great analyst, but DC is great for this. I just want to say quickly, I'm not a DC fan. I never was during the John Jones rivalry. The only thing I hope is that DC doesn't decide to give Stipe and John Jones 1 star. But other than that, I think DC will be completely unbiased, and I think he will absolutely smash this, and I think he'll take it very serious because I know he loves the sport, and he's got a good fan base, and I think the more this game grows and grows and grows, people see there's constant updates and people are playing it and the player count goes up, he's going to take it more and more serious, and I think we got the best man for the job in my opinion. So also I just want to say that I do love these idea of regular updates, as I used to get so annoyed as playing with fighters with lower overalls, even though they were smashing it in real life. It pissed me off to no end. That's why I didn't used to use people like Adesanya, because I was like, that is not him. That is not the Adesanya we all know. He's nothing like that. And same with Jorge Masvidal. His UFC 3 stats and the way he looks is just like, nah, I don't like it. And I love these regular updates. And I think now with the ratings adjuster that is Daniel Cormier, I think it's going to be even better and even more true to real life. And I just want to say, things to remember, guys. I don't think they're going to be judging it on something as simple as win or lose. I don't think if you win, you're going to get all +2 on your stats. And if you lose, you're going to get all -2 on your stats. I think it's going to be, I'm going to be putting up things that he says. I've probably already done it in this video because, I mentioned it. But I'm going to be going, I'm going to be putting things up he says in his video when he announced it. Just kind of so you guys get a bit of an idea of it. Like he says, it's based on performance, which, yes, obviously means win or lose. But in my opinion, it could also be if your favourite fighter loses, but in a fight of the year contender, I can't imagine their stats will be too affected. Let's take, what should we take, for example? For example, if Max Holloway and Alexander Volkanovski, neither fight was a total beatdown. Yes, Max lost both fights, but neither fight was a total beatdown. So statistically, Volkanovski will have better stats than Max. But are Max's stats going to be destroyed? No, because he didn't get knocked down. He didn't get battered. He wasn't all over the place. He didn't look like an amateur. Yes, the first fight wasn't as close as the second fight, but he still wasn't battered. So his stats are not going to be completely ridiculed. He is just going to be like, okay, they're going to be like, all right, maybe after the first fight, his accuracy would have gone down a little bit. And after this, what would you guys take away from Max in the second fight? It was so close. That fight was insanely close. I don't know how you could honestly say, Max don't deserve to have a good chin, or he doesn't deserve that stand-up anymore. That second fight was so close. And another example that might be a little bit controversial is Darren Till versus Jorge Masvidal. Till lost by knockout, but he also dropped Masvidal. So does that mean you'd put his chin down, put his strength, his power up because he dropped Masvidal? You know what I mean? So I don't think it's going to be as simple as just win or lose. And another example, yet again, Darren Till versus Whittaker. No one in that fight truly deserves to lose any stats. No one lost any credit. No one lost any fans. They both, even Whittaker admitted he could have lost that fight. He said it could have gone either way. It depends how the judges scored it. Obviously, he was happy he won, but he said both of us were winners. And I completely agree with that. I don't think anyone would have lost any stats in that fight personally. I don't know if you guys would rule it differently. If you would say, nah, a loss, you should lose, or you should lose stats, or a win, you should gain stats. I don't think so. I think it needs to be based on the performance as a whole, not just on win or lose. I think sometimes even a fighter that loses, they could lose some stats and gain other stats. Like I said with the Till Masvidal fight. Whereas fights like Max and Brian Ortega, while I love Ortega to bits and he's one of my favourite fighters, he got battered. His stand-up would for sure go down. Same as Usman and Woodley. That was a complete total fight domination. No one even needed the judges to know that was a 50-45 performance. We all knew. So, you know, like those two, Woodley, his stats would for sure go down. Ortega, his stand-up would for sure go down. Even his takedown would probably go down, to be honest, because he couldn't get Max to the ground. So, you know, in fights like that, those would be fights that truly would affect a fighter's stats. Whereas I don't think fighters like Dustin Poirier deserve to have their stats torn apart after losing to Khabib. I think DC and the EA Sports team will look at the level of competition before and after, like, the fight, because, well, not after, obviously, before the fight, because, you know, before and after Khabib, Dustin has done great. You know, he won his fight leading up to the Khabib fight, and he won after Khabib. He had a fight of the year contender with Dan Hooker. So I can't say a fight like that, yeah, he lost to Khabib, okay, maybe his submission defense would be a little bit lower, but what would you really take away from Dustin in that fight? You know, he fought against arguably the greatest lightweight ever. Like, Khabib is a mauler, he is a monster. How could you say to someone, nah, you know, Dustin just lost, you know, he don't deserve those stats. He lost to Khabib. That's no bad feat, is it? Honestly, let's be honest. So I think personally DC is going to do amazing at this and probably one of the best men for the job, best people for the job. I'm excited to see how he does and how ruthless he'll be depending on a good or bad performance, or just great fight, maybe fight of the year contenders, performance of the nights, performance of the years kind of thing. And I'd like to see how he judges it. So you guys will have to let me know what you think in the comments down below. I'm for sure excited to see this, and I'm happy that it's just one step closer to getting fighters more involved in other than just a fight. Next up, we need fighters to be judges for fights, but so far, fighters for rating adjusters is one step closer, and I think we're gonna have a real close to real life game in UFC 4. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.